Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today is Tuesday, November 22nd, 2022. I am Solid Blue Sister, and this is my turn to talk. Hey, Brina, welcome. You are number one today. Hey, Shelby, you're number two. Good to see you. Good to see you. My day is going great. Busy morning, but everything is going really well. Hey, Frankie. And to everyone listening on any other streaming platform, welcome. And I hope you guys are also having a wonderful day. It is a beautiful day here in sunny, it is sunny, Southern California. I did change the topic at the last minute. But we'll see how this one goes. Hey, Minnesota. Hey, the only crazy lady. Hello, hello. And thank you for sharing the show. Much appreciated. Okay, and we are going to get started today. All right, so guys, before I start, I have to tell you about my evening last night. And Shelby was there. You guys, DJ Carmen Camille came on for an hour and a half on TikTok, and y'all, she rocked. She was jamming. I think that's the best I have ever heard her last night. Y'all, if y'all not listen to her on TikTok, y'all, it was nice. It was really nice. Hey, Mr. B, welcome. Okay, so today I want to talk about first responders, and I changed the topic. It actually came to me this morning, like around 3. I was up doing some work, and I was had the TV on, and I was watching a show with first responders, and it was, when people do stupid stuff, should first responders, should they risk their lives for someone being stupid? If you have, and this may seem really mean, but I'm gonna go out there and put it. I'm gonna put it out there. So yes, it was, Shelby. It was great. So if you have two people who are racing down the street, they're not supposed to be racing, but they decided they're going to drag race, and they get into an accident, and they need to be rescued, but their rescue requires the first responders to go in to risk their own lives to get these knuckleheads who were drag racing. Should first responders have to, shouldn't they have something where they say, well, no, I'm not going? if you're going to be that person who is, I think it's going to be fun to, you know, um, climb up the side of a building, which you do see people doing, and they fall or they get caught, you know, it's a windy day outside, or even if it's not a windy day, but where you are hanging is very dangerous for someone to go up there to get you. Should first responders be responsible for your stupidity? And I know people can say, well, it's the job. That's what they signed up for. Yeah, firefighters, they sign up for um, if you, if your house is burning down, yes, you know, officers, police officers, yes, they're supposed to catch the bad guys, EMT workers, they're supposed to go and, you know, um, you know, help you live or, whatever before you get to the hospital. But if you're doing something stupid, should a first responder be required to put their lives at risk to help you? And if they said no, is it wrong? Hey, Blunt Ninja, welcome. So that's my question for today. Should first responders risk their lives for the stupidity of the victim? So anybody think I'm wrong? You want to push back on me? Because I just don't, I don't know. You have a lot of people out there doing a lot of crazy things, especially in the times of social media. What can I do to become famous? What can I do to have my 15 minutes, possibly, get on TV to tell my story? People are doing a lot of crazy things now. And, people have to go out there and they have to rescue them. I mean, if you jump off the Golden Gate Bridge, which is hard to do now, the way they have all the security around it. But if you were to jump off the Golden Gate Bridge, not because you were trying to commit suicide or anything, but just because you wanted to do it, to see if you could, or you did it on a dare, and you got hurt. Does that mean that if I'm a first responder, I'm supposed to go out there and try to save you, considering that, the Bay is one of the most dangerous places? I mean, should I have to do that? I don't think that I should. Crazy lady, hey, welcome.
Like in a way, I say no, because you're on your own on stupidity, but that's what they're, like I say, like that is their job. And B, they have like equipment and they're trained to, get stupid people out of stupid situations. You know what?
No, and I understand that, but I mean, if you're, and again, I just want to use the Golden Gate Bridge as an example. You know, there are currents, there are sharks. And if anyone has ever been, at the beach where the current is really, really high and they tell you don't go swimming, and you have that one person that goes swimming and they start to, need help. You have had lifeguards that have drowned, trying to save people who were in areas that they were not supposed to be. So the only crazy lady, I just want to ask you, if I'm a lifeguard and it says danger, stay out of that area, and you decide to go in there, even though I'm a lifeguard, should I have to, and I know what the danger is, and people have been warned, why should I go in after you if you refuse to adhere to the signs?
Um, again, it's, I mean, I'm sure there's like instances where lifeguards like, yeah, no, you're on your own. Um, where, I mean, like, cause I know that like firemen and a lot of responders do lose their lives in situations, you know, and, I don't know, because like I get a good 95% of emergency calls is because of someone's stupidity. A good lot of it when it all comes down to it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And usually like, okay, like at the beach, uh, the Coast Guard, you know, uh, and
if
like
someone
they're trained and
but if
stuff.
someone's drowning, by the time the Coast Guard got there, there's a good chance that that person would have drowned, as opposed to that lifeguard
Yeah.
going in
Well, like
after.
I know.
So I mean,
So,
I'm just saying, because I understand what you're saying. It is your job, but again, if you go into if I tell you,
but don't they have postings like if you swim in this area, you swim at your own risk?
yes, but at the same
Oh well, then
time,
see that's
right?
their go. You're on your
Okay,
own, bud.
okay, you're swimming at your own risk, but don't you think that someone's going to yell at the lifeguard and say, "Hey, crazy lady, you're the lifeguard. Why don't you go in after them?" Um, you know, people are going to be looking at you like, "Well, you're the lifeguard," and you're like, "Well, instead of swim at your own risk." People are still
I will try to assist them in the best way I could, to not endanger my life, but again, at your own risk. It's like, okay, well, at this point, your skill is about as good as mine. You go after them.
okay. So let me ask this. Let's say uh in regards to a drag race. Now,
Okay.
what was the actor about 5 years ago? He lost his life. Paul. He was one of the Fast and Furious person.
Yeah.
Paul Walker. Okay, so hold on. Welcome, GP, Grid, and Angie. Welcome. So, okay. So, they get into a car, and even though Paul Walker wasn't driving, his friend was going over 100 miles an hour down a residential street, mind you. Um, they hit a tree. They car burst into flames. They die. They want to sue the car maker, which they did, and they got some money. Is that right? Is that fair? Because you're stupid. You got into a car. You chose to go that fast. You lost control. You died. Why are you suing me?
Yeah. I don't believe in that kind of suing. Um, you'd be surprised, like when it comes, and I don't say this because uh, my son's accident involved vehicles. They have experts that can gauge like if you were looking at a cell phone or something like on reaction times and stuff. And if it was like, I don't know about the lawsuit or anything, but like if it was like something wrong with the vehicle that it didn't like do what it was supposed to do at the specific time or whatever, then maybe. But yeah, no, I don't believe in, suing because,
So,
you shouldn't be, we only race on the road, on the raceway, not on the roadway. End of
okay.
story.
Okay. But then again, I still say, let's say, okay, their car crash. Um, by the time the fire department and whomever got there, I mean, they were gone. But let's say they weren't. And let's say they put the first responders in a very dangerous situation. Yes, it is their job, but now I have to risk my life and go into more danger because you decided to do this foolish thing. And like Brina said, that's tough because it's their job. But dang, where's the line? Should there be a line? Should there be a line that, if I find out that, I get called, like I said, to a building, you have that person who's decided that they were going to climb up the Empire State Building or whatever, you know, the Sears Tower, you know, whatever it is, 100 something floors, and their line gets stuck and they're hanging from a place where it's really hard to get to them. Can I just say, well, I'm not going up there. I know you all called the fire department, but I'm not going. Should I lose my job? Anybody?
No. No. But, again, my dad's saying, let's go, we race on the raceway, not on the roadway.
That's a very good saying, but at the same time, it's like you have those people who are just not, they're hard headed. So, do you think that there should be a clause? Welcome, Ellie, and welcome, Power Girl. Do you think that there should be something in your contract or in your job where you can say, "I'm not going"? If somebody is being, you know, irresponsible. Too fast, too furious. GP, I'm going to have to differ with great best movie ever. Okay, and Brina says no, it's not fair to sue the car maker in that case. I disagree also. So I mean, what do you do? I mean, what if all first responders said that we are not going to uh, what is it rescue anyone who is in the situation they're in because they were stupid. They're gonna fire everybody.
Then a lot of people are going to be dying, okay? Because it's just, like I said, most accidents, you know, uh, is because, someone's like, and, you want, why did you do that? In what process did you think that was going to work out like, different from this?
No, and I get you. I'm just saying that and I know people do things that there are things that the accidents happen that say you really plugged that into there seriously. There's that, and then there's people who just, like I said, just blatant stupidity. Blunt Ninja says there's a girl who killed her rapist, but she was put in jail in order to pay the rapist family $150,000. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's sick, and it's tragic. Yes. Let's see. Did he hurt her? He beat her and was molesting her daughter. But you took a vow. Okay, so Shelby, are you saying that you think that first responders should not have a say in possibly risking their lives out of someone else's stupidity? Hey, Shelby.
Hey, um, I that's a hard question to ask. I'm wondering if you're a first responder, do you not have to take a vow stating that you are there to protect everybody?
You know what? I don't know, and that's something I'm actually going to have to look up. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming. I don't know about the vow thing, but I do think that people would say, "Well, that's your job. You should do it." But then again, what about what GP says? Which is true. You can get sued for performing CPR on someone in need.
I think that's a civilian, though.
Right, but I'm saying I perform, and even something like that. I perform CPR on you. I save your life. maybe somewhere down the road, you have some issues, whatever, and you're going to blame me because I perform CPR. I mean, it's like, I don't know, but I mean, so Shelby, again, someone is drowning. Swim at your own risk is out there. The lifeguard says, don't go into that area. The waves are really bad. The current's really bad. Don't go over there. And they have it marked off. Somebody goes over there and they're starting to drown. Should you have to go in as a lifeguard to try to save them?
People don't read and people don't listen.
Okay, but but they're looking at you, Shelby.
At
You're
you,
you're the lifeguard. So how come you aren't going in to help?
I don't think, and I mean, stupidity. I don't think you have
I
to.
choose life. I'll
But
look
you
at you
have
and say,
to.
I choose life.
Yeah.
I
I mean, you have
yeah.
to. That's your job. Regardless, I know you said that's your job besides that fact. But if I was in that position, I'm like the crazy lady. That in my position, I choose life over death. In my
I mean,
personal
I'll try to
beliefs.
help you the best of my ability up to the point where it's
Right.
like, if I'm not going to jump in the swell, if I know I'm going to die doing so. You're on
Right.
your own. Here, I will throw you a life preserver, something.
Right.
Okay, so
But
then
I'm not going to.
okay, so then let me ask this. There's a burning building. They're telling everyone to clear out, but there's a family, or there's a kid or whatever. There's a lady, there's a man who's still in there. There's a very big chance that if you go in there, you could be seriously risking your life, because this place is about to fall down. Something's about to blow up. Something's going to happen where you may not make it out. Do you risk your life to go back in after that person or persons?
If I'm a fireman, that's my job.
Okay,
I mean,
but
then again, they have way cooler equipment that they have. Like they
but
have those suits that they're not going to burn up.
right. But at the same time, again, I said that if they're telling people to clear out, because there are cases where the fire departments do tell their own people to pull back. So whether you
Yep.
have on a suit or not, if the building is falling down on you, that's not going to save you.
Yeah.
So if you know that there is a risk and they're saying you need to get out, and there's someone else still in there, and they're telling everyone you need to get out, do you go back in or do you get out? Because you also have a family. You also have a responsibility to your family also. Or even if you're single, you have a responsibility to yourself.
Me personally, I probably, try to save them.
Okay.
I look at it
Personally.
like that, but I look at it like this. 9 out of 10 firefighters join the firefighters because they care. And they don't want to see anyone die in that position.
And I'm not saying that they
And they're
don't.
trained.
And I'm not saying that they
Right.
don't care. I understand with the training and everything. I am saying if there's additional risk, I'm saying if there is additional risk, if your battalion chief or whomever say this is getting out of
Go.
control, everyone needs to pull out. Do you pull out, or are you still required to go in? And yes, they are. Yes, they did take an oath. Yes, they did do this, but at the same time, they also have families who want them to come home also. So do you take that additional risk when you're being told to pull back, stop, take cover, whatever, or do you continue to go in?
Depends on how close I am to that victim.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. That is fair. That is fair. So do you think that when let's see, Ellie says I would go back, and then she also says if someone molested my daughter, I would never let him live. I wouldn't let him live either.
Mm-mm.
Because if I would say I can't continue to live, I would always feel guilty. I would do anything to rescue them. I'm sorry. I would not feel guilty if I was told to pull back because there is imminent danger to everyone, that this building or whatever, there is, that, something could possibly happen. I'm not going back in, because first people I'm thinking about is my family. I was there. I did my job. I tried. The order came to pull back. Is getting dangerous. I would pull back. So if that makes me selfish,
and if you choose to go on then and you rescue them, that's what makes you valiant. Or you died in service, but you're still making conscious choice. And I know with first responders, like firefighters, police and stuff, they get like extra if they die like in the line of service. Like same with our military. When Anthony passed away, me and my dad, we automatically received $100,000. Boom. And we donated it all, but Anthony, he knew what the risks were when he signed along the line. I mean, there was, it's in black and white when it comes to contracts and stuff.
No, and I understand that, but that goes back to what we were talking about on one of the shows about victims and things like that. You can sue all you want. You can get all
don't mean you're
the
going to get
money.
anything.
You can get all the money you want. The hazard pay, and your family's going to get this. But I would rather have my loved one at home and alive, as opposed to them being a hero that they may or may not have saved this person. And I'm gonna tell you, if my husband or my son was a fireman and they were in a situation or any situation, and this is going to sound really, really bad, but if they were told to pull back and they didn't, that there is something, that this is really dangerous, you need to pull back, and they didn't, and they died trying to rescue someone, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be upset. I'm going to be upset, because you should have listened. And yes, I understand you're saving them, whatever, but again, I want my loved one also. So yes, it is your job, but if there's a call out that says it's too dangerous, if you're at that beach and it says swim at your own risk, and you're out there, swimming, think, well, I'm going to do this, or you do something on a dare, and it puts me or my loved one in serious risk and danger to come and get you because you were being stupid. Yeah. Sorry. I am pissed. Welcome, David.
Yeah, but check it out. You can be pissed all you want. Anthony, dude, are you serious? You're going back over the Middle East. You gave them 3 tours already. They're not required. They can't even really ask you. Oh yeah, but if I go, some poor sucker's got to stay home with his wife and kid.
And I understand that. I understand that when people make the decision to go into service, whatever, I mean, that is a decision that they're making. But again, I go to unnecessary risk. I don't know. I just, I want my family with me as long as possible. I don't want them to die, I don't want them to die, and I'm standing, at a ceremony, 2 months later, and you're giving me a medal. I don't want that. I don't want you putting, $10 million into my bank account because, my kid is gone. My husband's gone, my friend is gone. So once again, I ask, should it be required?
No.
Yeah, no.
I think that's all in the person's preference.
Okay, so let me ask this. I'm gonna put you guys on the spot, and I'm gonna put myself on that spot too. I'm in this building that's burning down, and fire department hasn't gotten to me yet. Say I'm stuck up under something, or I just can't get out. I don't have a way out. Fire's getting too hot, whatever. And they say to pull out. Would you expect? I'm not saying want. Yes, you would want someone to still come and try to save you. Would you expect them to?
Well, being the victim, yeah, I would expect them to come save me.
Okay, even though they may have gotten the what do you call it, the call to pull back.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean, who wouldn't?
Okay. No. I'm just asking. I'm just asking. So, your family member perishes in this fire. Fire department said everybody pull back. Do you get upset with the fire department?
Well, I'm sure the family would, but that in that situation there would be an investigation on as to why this person wasn't saved.
Okay. All right. Crazy lady. Hey girl, welcome. So, okay, so I don't mean to be insensitive, and I am sorry for anyone who lost anyone in 9/11. If the firemen knew that there was a chance that those buildings could have come down and they chose not to go in, do you think that they would have been sued?
Okay, repeat that again.
If the firemen who lost their lives in 9/11 knew or knew that there was a chance, because I mean no one knew that the buildings were going to come down. If they had an inkling, or that they thought that there was that possibility that those buildings could have come down and they refused to go in, do you think that they would have been sued?
I'm kind of surprised that they weren't in that situation. The whole, the department or the city as a whole.
Okay, so why do you say that, considering the monumental devastation of just that accident? It's like, it's not like, the plane came in on the 7th floor, we can get some water up there, do something. We're talking about all the way up at the top. So just that alone, how do you fight a fire like that?
Well, I mean, you can't, but I wouldn't think you can't, because ladders only go so far up, and extensions can only go so far up at that. But there was a limited amount of time before it was, just demolished. And I'm not talking about it falling down, just demolished, period, by fire, because fires work fast.
Right.
You only had a time limit opportunity to get to them. That's why you saw people jumping out windows and crud.
So do you think that a fireman would have been within his right to say, I'm not going in there?
I think that at that particular time, I would have taken that excuse, for that simple fact, or at least going that far up.
Okay. All right. Do any of you guys remember the movie or have seen the movie, The Towering Inferno?
I have not.
Am I dating myself too much? Oh my goodness! I'll put it in the chat. This was a Paul Newman movie, so if y'all know who Paul
I remember him.
Paul Newman, and I can't remember the other guy. Okay, so Crazy says I love that movie. Okay, so again, they had it was set in San Francisco. Built this big tower. They had this party on the top floor of the penthouse. The owner's son did some sidestepping with how he didn't do the building to specs, wanted to save money. Building caught fire, whatever. And fire goes up. So there were people who were living there, so everybody ends up being on the top floor, of course, and again, you see firefighters losing their lives. And yes, it was a movie, but at the same time, it's like, what do you expect a first responder to do in a situation where you have a fire in a building that, and the fire is mainly on the top floor? Shelby, like you said, fire hoses can only go so far. You hope the sprinkler system works. But at the same time, it's like, what do you do? So our first responders, I mean, yes, it is their job, but at some point, can a first responder say, that's too dangerous, I'm not going? Not just firemen. I'm talking about police officers. I'm even talking about if you're in the military. Can you tell your sergeant or whomever, I'm not going out there, it's too dangerous? They have us, it's 5,000 of them and 500 of us. This is crazy. What do you do?
I would just have to risk losing my job.
I mean, seriously. I mean, because even at Little Bighorn, you had when let's see, Little Bighorn, is that Custer or Custer's Last Stand, whatever? You had Custer telling his troops to basically go on a death mission. When all the nations got together and said, we're going to fight these people, we're going to fight these soldiers, and they were surrounded, and you had soldiers that were like, I'm not staying here, and they were leaving. So when does it become your job, and when does it become you making a choice, either over someone's stupidity or over something that is just, this doesn't make any sense? I'm not going to do that. And Crazy says, you don't want my opinion on 9/11. Crazy, if you want to pop on up. Ellie says, you can read about brilliant sacrifice by firefighters during fire in the Palacio building. I've heard that building was close to collapse, but 3 of the firefighters didn't leave there. They had the chance to run, but one of them heard someone calling for help, so he told his colleagues, you can go, I'll stay. He got trapped there and passed away. Okay. And see, if that was my husband, I would be upset. I would be upset that he had the chance to leave and he didn't. And my question, Ellie, is, did the person who he heard, did they get out, or did they pass away too? So I don't know. Again, when does a first responder have a chance to say, I'm not going, because they know that it's not safe for them? They know that it's not safe. I don't care how much equipment you have or training you have. Um, you know, okay, and Ellie says yes, the 2 other firefighters have been rescued. You know, at what point can you just say, I'm 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 not going? Welcome, Pastor Stephanie.
I would think that they had any time to really say, you know.
What are you talking about? 9/11, or you're talking about anything?
At 9/11.
Okay, so
I think at 9/11 they really had a chance at any time to say, "Hey, look, I'm not going near that."
okay. So, do you think that? Okay, now I'm going to turn it to the responsibility of others. Considering all the people who have gotten sick from 9/11, or even situations that are like that, you have people who are in Vietnam, got sick from Agent Orange. You have all these people who are just getting sick from doing their duty. Should the government do more? Should the cities do more?
I think they should offer more of a compensation program for the spouses.
But why okay, so then I come down to, why does it always seem like that when first responders get sick, they're always the ones that are fighting to stay alive because they're sick, because they went to save someone or went to do something because it was their job, and now they're sick, but they're fighting to stay alive, and no one's there for them.
It's a good question.
So
well, it's because the government never has any money because they send it over. Never mind.
Yes, they do. I'm with you on that 100%. But again, so I say, yes, it's my job, but history tells me that if I get sick, if I lose a limb or something, depending upon the industry that I'm in, there's a possibility that I'm going to get crappy care. My family may or may not get something, all because I made the choice, or because it was my job to go save this person. So I don't know. And Shelby, don't get me started on what you just said. Okay, Crazy says, because the country that doesn't care. No, they don't. I mean, that has been proven many times. They don't. So again, and Crazy says, like vets. Ellie says, Brina, yes, it was very complicated, especially when you are a mother, but as Salad says, it's a choice, and we can't answer this and predict our reaction. Thank you, Power Girl. See, Rena says, crazy, exactly. We don't even treat our veterans well. Nope. Pisses Crazy off if you risk risking your life. I'll say risking your life. I'm trying not to curse on the show anymore, Crazy. You deserve to be taken care of for life. Absolutely. Rena says, the crazy homeless Australian vet is just sad and should not be a thing. Ellie says, my uncle lost one of his eyes when he was in the military, and Crazy says it's disgusting. And and again, it's like people are giving up parts of themselves, not just losing limbs and things like that, but your family is also being affected, because if a family member loses a limb, or they have PTSD or whatever, it's affecting the entire family. So that entire family is suffering because you, the first responder, went in to save somebody because they were stupid, or you wanted to risk your life, whatever. So Ellie, that's when I say, when you said that you would feel guilty, I'm sorry. I just can't. I just can't, because if something were to happen to me or someone that I love, it's affecting our entire family, and you have, like Brina and Crazy are talking about, you have veterans that are struggling, veterans who went and fought for this country, and look at how they're being treated. I mean, there's no way that you hear so much about Walter Reed says, Walter Reed Hospital says, Walter Reed Hospital that. You're going to tell me, with all the money that we do ship over to other countries, we can't get a medical facility to treat our vets?
Right.
With all the money that we do have, Lord knows we're giving guns and everything to other people,
You're right.
You're going to sit up here and tell me that, people complain about the homeless, and, oh, well, that city has this homeless and that person's not doing this, that person's not now doing this. Well, okay, so we want to talk about the government. Then why are we not doing more? Because I truly believe that no first responder who has given their life, be they a vet, be they a police officer, be they fireman, an EMT, anyone, should have to be in situations that they are. So, I'm also going to say this. You look at some of our retail workers. What about, all of them, no one's getting paid any money. Companies have them working part-time, so they don't have to pay benefits. What if all those people just stayed home? What if you went to the grocery store and grocery stores closed because everybody stayed home? Are you going to get pissed off at the people who were supposed to be there? Just like now with all these supply chain issues and stuff, you have people who are just fed up and they're not going to work, so things are backing up. So what do we do? Do you blame these people? Are you going, again, I come back to the original question, are you going to risk your life or, whatever, because of stupidity? Or am I going to risk, if I go to the military and I get hurt, can you at least help me? But yet you'll help somebody else who, well, I'm not even going to get into the citizenship thing. So much. I'm starting to preach. I'm starting to preach now. We can stop homeless, period. Yep. Yes, we can. The U.S. government gives less than a crap about the citizens. Yep. Do I hear Dr. Oh no, please, Crazy, please don't compare me to Dr. Phil. I don't like Dr. Phil. You hear solid. You hear solid talking. I'm just saying that we have so many people out there who are risking their lives, and yet we're, someone can come over here who is not a citizen and get perfect care, can get a whole transplant, but a vet who just needs to see, a psychologist, a couple of times, maybe can't even get an appointment. I mean, see, no. Oh no, the background. That must have been Shelby on Dr. Phil.
It was. I'm so sorry. It's just on. It's not something I'm watching. Trust me.
Okay, and Crazy says, I hear him literally talking, not you. I wasn't even paying attention. You're right. We should take care of our own first. I mean, seriously, we really should take care of our own first, but we don't do that. So y'all heard me preach for a little over about 50 minutes. Shelby, you want to say anything else, or anybody else want to pop up?
I agree with the last part of our show about, taking care of our own, I have several family members that are veterans, and they cannot even get seen at the veteran hospital that's like an hour away, or they can't get benefits, from the VA, and they're suffering. And a lot of them have seen action, and they have PTSD and can't get seen, not by them but by anybody, and it's heartbreaking. It really is. And I think that people talk about how um homeless the homeless, and there's just so much going on in the world. Yes, I agree, but we need to band together. And I'm saying, not just the government. Yes, they need to step up, but everybody. I'm trying to find ways to start something here locally to help our veterans. So just be in prayer for me. But that's
Okay.
all I got to say.
All right. Welcome, Savage. Welcome. I appreciate you showing some love. Okay. Let's see. Brina says it's like when you're a mother, if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of your kids. The same applies to our country. And Shelby says, I love that.
This
or
may
Brina
or may
says
not
that.
work.
So,
Can you hear me?
yes. So Crazy, you have the mic.
Oh, well, I was just going to say, because we were talking about the vet stuff, and I'm going to tell you, it's all around, doesn't really matter. And honestly, God bless you for doing anything locally, and God bless anybody for doing things locally. But you can't sustain that without a foundation, and the government is too messed up for that. And I'm going to try to not to cuss, because they're trying to come out, but I'm trying. So... But I'm going to tell you, with the vet thing, I'll never, I used to be one solid that when someone took out the American flag, I was all about it. I'm like, that's my country. Don't touch that flag. Don't be disrespectful. You know what I mean? Like, it used to really make me mad when people were disrespectful. But with the way that my father was treated when he was no longer able to care for himself and had to be moved into a home. He was a Vietnam veteran. He had to be moved into a home. That shit should have been paid for from day one, every cent of it. Everything should have been covered. Everything without fail. They couldn't get him to doctor's appointments. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they couldn't get local doctors approved, so he would have to drive 2 hours just to get appointments and stuff like that. That's when I started losing respect. You know what I'm saying? Because they have no respect for, their own citizens. Why, and like I said, don't get me started on 9/11, because that's a whole nother mess. But
Are you
like,
saying
they did my dad dirty.
So what did your father end up doing?
Well,
did he have
he
to go
passed
see?
away. He
I'm
passed away,
sorry. I'm sorry.
but he did have to go see doctors. But like, let's say my sister like couldn't drive him. He couldn't even get him to pay for rides, even though like he was trying. The thing is they don't work with them. My dad was trying to tell him, look, there's a doctor's closer here. That they're telling him, no, it doesn't matter if you don't come to the vet's hospital. We're not going to treat this. And it had to do with his vision, all the things that were affected from, he got old, he got beat up, like whatever. But regardless, he went to Vietnam, was treated like shit when he came back, anyways. They should have respected him for the rest of his life, and everything should have been taken care of. It shouldn't have been that hard for him to get treatment for things, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially when he was the one offering to even work with them, find his own doctor locally and get it approved, and they still wouldn't do it. So this man had to struggle for health care up until the day that he passed away. Not only that, when he had to go into a home. So my dad had dementia. All right. So you got a Vietnam War vet. He's got dementia. He's in a home that he's lived in his home all his life. That's all he knows. He was in this vet, like, they were paying for it, right? They put him in a home that they originally did pay for. And then he had, mind you, dementia, went into another person's room, right? Because he was lost. Someone came and they said this was like 2:00 in the morning, right? They kicked him out of this home because he swung on the staff. Okay, but you crept up behind an old man at 2 a.m. who's a war vet with dementia. What do you think he's gonna do when you tap on his fucking shoulder? Of course he's gonna swing on you. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be cussing. I forgot you said about that. But it makes me mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, they kicked him out of that home, and then he had to go to a home where he had to pay $12,000 a month for.
Wow.
And then they put a lien on the farm that my family had. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the shit that pisses me off.
No,
Like, there was no, what was that? Like, what was that about, you know?
Well, okay, so let me ask this because, and crazy, I want you to address what Ellie says. Ellie says the thing is, all military should be abolished. Politicians are in power and using people and soldiers for their goals.
Oh, they definitely are. You're right about that. I can tell you that's just never going to happen. You're never going to abolish anything. The government, I here's the thing. Like, that's why I say that anybody doing anything locally, God bless you, because it's going to be a hard road ahead, and I'm going to tell you it's going to have to all be local because government don't give a shit, and it's beyond all the government now. Like, come on, that talking about all the money we send over to overseas, we're basically an ATM for everybody else. We're so far in debt we can't help our citizens. You see what I'm saying?
We are.
But the guys with the money that have the money, they don't care. Nobody cares anymore. They've already basically made everybody consumers. We don't produce anything, we consume everything. So that's why everything's going to be shortages and everything else, because the government they're not going to care. And if they're going to take control, everything's going to become manufactured. Do you remember when the breast milk, not breast milk, excuse me, the baby milk was in shortages, and then all of a sudden they came out with this weird produced milk that would replace all the shortages of milk? You don't think they're going to start doing that with food? Everything.
That's why you need to grow your own food.
Yeah, like I'm telling you right now, I'm not crazy into the whole prepping for the apocalypse type of stuff, but if you don't have help locally, the government's not gonna, they don't give a damn. We're headed towards a whole, people don't see a whole lot. I'm not even gonna get into all that, but government doesn't give a crap. Stop thinking that that's where it's going. And at the state level, they can only do so much in the states that are still funded by the government. That's why they're all struggling too. So,
okay. Brina says
California's going to become its own continent. They're going to break off.
Well, you know what's funny? Hold on. Let me read Brina's comment real quick. People look at politicians to fix everything. They can't fix everything, and they're not. My God. With California, living here, I hear so much stuff about they want to. You have conservatives who want to break off from the liberals, and it's going to become two states, and whatever. But one thing that California has, and we have the 5th largest food producing economy in the world. And as much as people laugh at California, people need this state. They need it. They need it so much because there's just so much that California produces. But aside from that, and aside from people going off into their own states and their own whatever, I'm gonna move to the moon, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. It really has come to the point of, and I know we're getting off topic here. It really has come to the point where to where it's every man for himself. It's like if you're not ready to take care of yourself, you know, no one else is.
But it all
is
goes
going
back
to
to
do
what
it.
you were talking about, though. It all goes back to what you were originally talking about when people risk their lives, right?
Right.
When they're going those first responders and all that other stuff. It all is a big cycle. It really is.
And it is. So you came in late. So crazy. I do want to ask you, do you think that first responders should risk their lives for someone else's stupidity?
I think that they should have a choice and not be ridiculed if they choose their family over their life, over like someone else's life. Because, I mean, that's like the scenario of your girlfriend is over here, which is one person, but if you save your girlfriend, you kill 5,000 people. You know, like you're either way, you know what I'm saying? Somebody's gonna be hurt. But you should have the option for that not to be your family. I'm gonna tell you right now, I've been in some situations like where I've had to in emergency situations, let's just put it that way, where it was a choice to make. And if you were if it was over stupidity, I'm definitely not, you know what I'm saying? Like I'll risk my life for a dog before I'll risk my life for someone who did something stupid. And you're about to put my life out of commission for your stupidity? No way. Absolutely not. And
Crazy.
Nobody should ridicule you for that.
Crazy. You know, thanks for saying that, because when I was going through my whole little speech and everything, I was thinking about my dogs, and I was thinking the same thing, that I would risk my life for my dogs before I went for someone who did something stupid. So
yeah, you know, there's a difference. There's a difference on Stump. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, me and variables. So you know.
yes, I do. Okay, Lagoonot Media, welcome.
Hi, it's Woody Bush.
Hey, Woody. Hey.
How's it going?
So welcome. So what do you want to add? Because we've gone from point A to point B.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to mention, say something, because I've been a firefighter and first responder for 8 years.
Okay, you are breaking up.
Am I? Okay, I didn't think it would work. Yeah, no, I just wanted to say one quick thing, that the one thing about the first thing, the most important thing in being a first responder, firefighter, ambulance, any of that they teach you, they're very.
Okay, Woody, you are really breaking up.
I'll type it in the chat.
Okay, or else you want to go out and try to come back in.
Yeah, I'll try.
Okay. Okay, Brina says, yes, I choose dogs over dumb people. I mean, seriously.
It's not a selfish thing. Just think about it. I
don't think that it is. I don't think that it is, because I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna say this again. If my loved one died saving your dumb behind, and you lived, I'm going to hold a grudge. I'm going to be really pissed.
See.
And that may sound bad, whatever. You can say, oh, that's his job. And but he was, and we thank him. And, and you're going to give me a little medal or something, or, even like I said, you give me $10 million. I want my family.
Exactly.
Sorry,
exactly. It's not about that.
No, it's like your dumb behind chose to do something dumb. So you're dumb behind, you figure it out.
And like it's I don't care how terrible someone thinks anything anybody says is, right? I just want to point this out. You can't want choices for one thing and not for another. So you can't say I'm pro-choice for this, but I'm not pro-choice for this. That's not how that works. You're either pro-choice for everything, meaning people get to choose their ultimate destiny. That means that nobody's locked in. I'm not risking my life over something that I don't feel is worth it. If something would have to pull me in there, like divine intervention. God would have to, you know what I'm saying? Like pull me, listen, you're supposed to go in there. You're supposed to do this. I'll protect you. You see what I'm saying? For me to walk in to risk my life if I'm unsure that I'm going to come out and I'm going to leave somebody. But let me tell you, on the other hand, if something did happen and I had the option and you go in there, and if it did happen, I also know that the people in my life are taken care of, and that may drive somebody to be that extra hero, or a child. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? Like stuff
crazy.
like that.
Okay,
So
I want to make I want to comment on what you just said, but let me read what he said. He says, poor reception here, but what I was going to say is when you are trained as the first responder.
I think he's gonna tape another. There he
Okay,
goes.
please type something else. Okay, of any sort. They teach you very strict about your safety comes first. If it's not safe for you to save somebody, you don't save them, and you go about it in a different manner that will make it safer for you. Okay, and that's a really, really difficult thing to do sometimes as a first responder, because sometimes you find a situation where you don't have time necessarily prepare everything safely for yourself to save them, but you have to. Okay, all right. So crazy. I want to make a comment on what you just said about, your family is taken care of. I may know my family is taken care of, but first of all, are they really? And, and again, they may get the money, whatever, but they don't have you. And
No,
you,
no, I mean,
and you can give,
I don't think that came out right, but
no, because I was also going to say is, let's say that little boy or little girl lost their father or mother in a fire or police shooting or whatever. That's going to affect them. It affects the family. So yeah, they may have saved you, but now you have another family that's affected because of something stupid that you did. I'm sorry. I go ahead, crazy.
what I meant by what I said, and I'll just clarify because I was thinking about like this, and I'll just put this in scenario. My son has me and his dad, right? We're split, obviously, but him and his dad's family is big. My family is non-existent. It's just me, right? So if something happened to me, I know that he would be taken care of as far as family goes. I'm not talking about the money and all that, because ain't no way. No, that's bullshit. When people offer people money after they say, well, my so and so was killed inside this, especially this 9/11, going back to that, bitch, you're I'm sorry, that makes me mad. So are you really offering me money and telling me that whoever I lost is a dollar sign? Like, are you really like just putting everything aside? Well, if you shut up, we'll give you money. Oh, okay. So that because his life or their life wasn't worth anything. Trust me when I tell you, right now my hair is standing up. It makes me angry because when people think a dollar sign covers your grief, it does not. But he's a national hero. So what? Okay. And what does that give me?
And that hero status only lasts so long.
Exactly.
Until they move on to the next hero.
That's right.
So again, guys, I may sound harsh, whatever, but I'm sorry when people do stuff out of stupidity or people, you see it all the time, people coming home from the military and they need help and they're not getting it, or other things that are going on. I'm sorry, it just bothers me. And like what Blunt Ninja said earlier, a rapist, a victim kills her rapist and she goes to jail and has to pay the family of the rapist $150,000. It's like, but that's the way the system works. So to
that's why I hate it.
Those first responders out there, I have to say thank you very much. In my city, being neighborhood watch captain. You know, we had to go through this whole training with the fire department and being a first responder. And I tell you, because we don't have classes like every couple of months to refresher classes, I can tell you, y'all don't want me coming trying to save you, but but you know, I mean, but seriously, you know, you just see things and you hear things, and even things that the firemen were telling us during this classes, and some of the video that was shown to us of real life situations. You know, it's like you're looking at people, you're like, you have got to be kidding me. You went to save that person and they did what? It's crazy. Well, not crazy, but crazy. Not crazy. Crazy town. Crazy. So, Shelby, you cursed. Shelby cursed. Ooh, I've never seen her. Ooh, I've never. Wow. Yes, and she says, yes, I did. Ooh, girl, I've never.
Yeah,
Well,
because what kind of crap is that? But you know what? I'm going to tell you that one thing that should happen when for that 9/11 stuff, and the reason I said I don't want to get into it is, you know, they should have been charged for sending those first responders in there. They knew those buildings were coming down.
But do you think that they really? But you think they knew?
Yes.
I mean, do you think anybody knew those buildings were going to come down?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
That was planned strategically. And if you think a plane goes into a building and disintegrates and doesn't come out the other side, you are wrong.
No,
right?
I'm not talking. No, I'm saying, do you think that? I'm not saying that you think that Al Qaeda or whomever knew the buildings were going to come down.
No.
I'm talking about
our government did that.
Okay.
Our government did
right.
that.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I agree.
Yes,
Tracy.
ma'am.
I agree.
They brought those buildings down. It's specifically the way they brought them down, and they send people into them. They should be charged with murder because they murdered everybody that went in that building.
Well, you know, one thing that I will say, one photo that just gets me is that one photo of that one fireman who is in the stairway. He's looking right at the camera. You all know which one I'm talking about?
I've seen all. Yeah, there's.
Okay, but there's one particular one where it's a fireman that's looking directly at the camera, and he's in the stairway. And every time I see that picture, I think is kind of haunting, because it's almost as if he knows
they did know
that he's not coming out.
He did.
They gave their families money.
You know, so
they gave their families money because they knew that shit. They knew that was going to happen.
You know,
they basically bought all of them off, is what they did.
And see, that is why I just say, if you knew something like this was going to happen, if you knew something like this was going to happen, then just let the buildings come down. I mean, you know, why send additional?
You're going to go ahead and have a show on that, right? Let's do a show on it, because I'm all about it. I
will. Okay, crazy.
Yeah, buddy.
Crazy. My shows are now at an hour now, even though we've gone over. But I will promise you, I will do this show next week. In fact, I will do this show next Monday. But you have to show up. Are you going to be available next Monday?
Hope so. You got to do it when I have. That's the day after a holiday break, and I'm in IT, so I could probably say I won't be, to be honest with you.
Okay, so if I did it next Wednesday?
Yeah, I probably could pull that off.
Okay, I will do the 9/11 show next Wednesday. So.
Okay. Makes me mad as hell. That's why when I first came in, I was like, ooh, what is she talking about? I heard 9/11. I was like, let me.
And Brian says, I'll bug her. Yeah, she doesn't have her show anymore, so I can't go on there and try to be serious, because she tells me to shut up. So I can't go. Brian says, I don't want it to be an emotional one for you. Yeah, so, you know, one thing I have learned, guys, is when I jump on some of these evening shows, everyone says, oh, Sally's here. Okay, Sally, we're not going to do that. I mean, Shorty basically said, Sally, I'm telling you right now. Okay, we don't do this, we don't do that, we do this, we do this. So if you're gonna do this, do this. I was like, okay.
Well, look, she comes in there and tries to bait me, is what she does. She comes
True.
in
Hey,
there
she does
and
that
she
to
asks me a question. And then she's like, all right, she's about to spin out because I asked her a question that has 14 variables and I can't tell the story without all the variables. So
And it's one of crazy shows when she's trying to play some music and everything, and she'll say something to me. I'm like, oh well, what about whatever? And yeah, so they pretty much tell me, Sally, see, this is the nighttime crowd. You keep that daytime stuff in the daytime, or basically, I'm just go ahead and curse on my own show. Y'all keep that shit in the daytime. Don't bring it over here. So that's so they pretty much tell me to shut up. So yeah.
She tries to trip me up every time I come on, crazy.
I'm telling you, ever since I can't, like, I have to have, I'm not good with variables because what happens is if you ask me a question that has, I can give you my opinion all day, but if you want, like, there's so many directions you can take it on most things. Like, I like to pick things apart. That's my favorite thing to do is tell somebody, why don't you think about it this way? Let's look at it this way. Well, what about this, or someone to pick my brain apart.
But crazy, what got me was when I was going on your shows, and then you popped into my show that one time, and you popped in a couple times. You didn't take the mic. You just listening, and then the day you took the mic, I was like, damn. This girl, I mean, I like talking to her. I mean, she is just, I'm like, and then you go on nighttime, I'm like, oh, okay, whatever.
Well, that's because at nighttime I'm high and drunk, and then during the day I gotta be.
Because the nighttime Susie. Crazy, and you have your daytime crazy. So yeah.
Well, during the day I'm customer service Susie, and at nighttime I'm crazy. So.
Well, next Wednesday, and Brina, you stay on her. So next Wednesday we are going to do this 9/11 show. So crazy, you have to make sure you pop on. But
I want to know, and if you haven't, I want you to watch this. Have you watched the movie, the Zeitgeist movies? Zeitgeist.
I did watch it. I watched some of it because Jester from Doomsday, was it him? Somebody on one of those shows, or was it Saba? Somebody sent me the
website,
the YouTube or whatever, and I went on and I got through because I mean it was a lot to take in.
I know. So yeah. But I'm telling you right now, watch all three of them. You got to watch all three of them now, and it's a zeitgeist.com and watch them. But I'm going to tell you, you're not going to watch them back to back because they made me mad as hell. But that'll also give you a little bit of insight, whether you like it or not, into what 9/11 was about.
I will make a point of watching it this weekend. And guys, don't forget, no shows tomorrow or Thursday, so I won't be back until Monday. Let's see. Brina says, always appreciate Crazy's view. She goes beyond the surface level. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. You need the scuba diving outfit. So yeah. So okay, everyone. Well, I'm going to wrap it up here, and I did download some more songs. I hope you guys like the song, because crazy what I'm doing now is I am playing my intro song all the way through at the beginning, and then at the end I'm playing another song. But I wish I can play other songs, but the copyright thing, because there's some songs I would really like to play. And yeah, so this one is called Hello April, and it's kind of mellow, but not really. And I hope you guys like it. So I will not talk to you guys until next Monday. And guys, if you guys could go into my new YouTube channel, I Am My Own Story. Please like, follow, comment. I'm going to drop another or post another interview that I did over the weekend. I'm interviewing all kinds of people from all walks of life. I have this one little girl that I'm trying to interview with her parents. She has a skin condition, but she is the cutest little girl. I'm also trying to get this man from TikTok who is 100 years old. I'm trying to interview him because every time I go on his TikTok, he just makes me laugh, and I just enjoy listening to him. So anyway, again, that is I Am My Own Story on YouTube. So with that,
Love
guys,
it. I'm gonna drop off here, but I always appreciate your shows, and I'm gonna try again whenever I have time. You know I will, but Wednesday for sure. Appreciate
okay.
it.
All right. Well, thank you for coming. And Shelby, thank you for popping up. And everyone, enjoy the rest of your day or weekend, wherever you are in the world. Have a very, very blessed Thanksgiving, and go where the wind takes you. And I will leave you with Hello, April. And that's it, guys. Hello, April. I hope to see you next Monday. Enjoy your weekend and have a blessed one and safe one. Bye.